Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. This is the Can Caddy Cash show for NFL Week 2. And in NFL Week 1, Jeff Cadillac went 2-3 against the spread. So did he deliver? You know, for people who were excited about this show because they were hoping to fade him, yes, he made them a little bit of money last week. Jeff Cadillac from jeffcadillac.com. Thanks so much for being back with us.
Thanks for having me, Peter.
All right, man. 2-3 against the spread. That's a good record. It's not the greatest record I've ever seen in 5 games of NFL capping, but it's not the worst. It's okay. It's a good record, right?
It's okay. If Denver would have at least played in the second half of the game, it would be 3-2.
Okay, but Denver wasn't one of your picks, though.
Right, but Denver, up 24-0, and then they sort of the rest of the game they kind of played not to lose, and all they needed to do was recover that onside kick, and the game would have been over. But they let Indy, once you give a team hope in the NFL, that's the most dangerous thing. You got to, when you have the chance to knock the team out, you have to knock them out. Because if they have hope, believe it, it's worse than playing against any team.
Interesting. So you think that the result in one of the games on the schedule would have had an impact on one of the other games that was one of your picks?
Possibly.
Interesting. Jeff Cadillac. Wow. Complicated man you are. Jeff Cadillac, a complicated man with a lot of class. All right. Well, look, let's just get into it. NFL Week 2. Your fans are watching and waiting, ready to act after you give the picks. Jeff Cadillac, hopefully you can screw him and go 3-2, 4-1, maybe the coveted 5-0. They're hoping that you give them some fade material. Let's see what you have for us. Week 2, NFL, Jeff Cadillac.
Okay, my first game up this week is Arizona at the Giants. Arizona's laying 2.5. First of all, the Giants last week, if everybody saw it against Detroit, terrible. Offense, terrible. Defense, terrible. They were playing against Detroit, which has one of the worst secondaries in the NFL, and they couldn't get anything going. Giants look like they're falling over their own steps. Eli Manning looks like a train wreck this year. That offensive line is going nowhere. Arizona, they've got 3 major injuries right now, I got to say. Dockett is out for the season. Washington is out, linebacker. And also John Abraham this afternoon. As a result of a concussion, he's out indefinitely. But still, Arizona has one factor that really goes for them very far. Bruce Arians, as the head coach. He's a motivated guy. A lot of people forget he took over for Pagano in Indianapolis when Pagano was out on illness. He's a very well-motivated coach. He's also got a very good secondary there in Arizona. I'm looking for Arizona to go steamroll the Giants. And I want to tell everybody out there, if you need more in-depth analysis on any of these games, you can always check my website, jeffcadillac.com. It's free, especially guys like Eddie Mush. I know he's always writing to me. Hey, check the website out, man. It's free, and you'll find some more in-depth analysis on this game and all the games.
All right, Jeff Cadillac. I like the fact is that you cited there. I previewed this game with another guy, pretty sharp guy. He likes actually the Giants. My first thought was Arizona as well. He likes the Giants. They're kind of a hungry home dog, which is always a dangerous thing in the NFL. But my plan this one is going to be on the over. What's your second pick for us, Jeff Cadillac?
My second pick, Chicago at San Francisco on Sunday night. Chicago doesn't look like they filled up those holes on that defensive line over there. And Buffalo ran for over close to 200 yards. Buffalo really controlled that game. I mean, they really surprised a lot of people, Chicago being the favorite 6.5. But I'm telling you right now, Chicago gave up the 200 yards rushing. Cutler, again, stupid mistakes. The secondary for Chicago has no clue either. San Francisco last week, that was one of my games. I loved it right off the bat. We discussed it right here on Can Caddy Cash. That was my first game that I spoke about. San Francisco was toying with Dallas. They played with them in the first half. First, they played their defense top-notch against Romo. Romo didn't know which way to go. They scored 28 points. They let Dallas get some garbage time TDs in the second half. San Francisco has got unbelievable strengths. First of all, this guy, Carlos Hyde, is the running back. What a surprise he is. Now, Frank Gore is healthy and they switch off with Carlos Hyde. Come on, where's Chicago going to go? They had the worst rated rush defense in the NFL last year. And they're already looking like they're going to be, again, the worst rated rush defense in the NFL. I love San Francisco at home, -7. And I'll tell you something, San Francisco at home against Chicago, 8-0 against the spread. I'm looking for 9-0.
All right, come on. Where's Chicago going to go? I hear you on that one. I have no opinion on that game as yet. All right, what's your third pick, Jeff Cadillac?
My third game, Philly at Indy on Monday night. Indianapolis. Hey, Andrew Luck, again, he showed a few things nice in the game against Denver, but again, you're playing against Peyton Manning and company. But what I don't like about Luck is he's a gunslinger. He reminds me a lot of Brett Favre. He will try to make something out of nothing, and at times he will make mistakes. He will either fumble the ball at a pivotal point in the game, or he will throw an unbelievable interception, which will deflate the whole team and the crowd. But after a loss, Luck is 10-0 straight up and 9-0-1 against the spread, but you got to love Philly in this game. On the road, +3. Chip Kelly's got them believing. Look what they did against Jacksonville. They spotted Jacksonville a 17-0 lead, and they came back and scored 34 unanswered points in the second half of that game. Nick Foles, man, I'm telling you, he started out a little rusty in that game, but I give him a lot of credit. You got also Robert Mathis is now out for the year. That is terrible news for Indianapolis, who can't stop anybody on the run. And I'm going to tell you right now, when you got LaShawn McCoy and Deshaun McCoy and Mr. Sproles back there, Darren Sproles, running, left and right, Indianapolis it's going to be a very close game, but I like Philadelphia +3 on the road Monday night.
All right. My lean was Indy on that one, -3. So good to hear, Jeff Cadillac. I previewed that game with Joe Duffy. He made a pretty compelling argument for the under, and I'm actually thinking that might be the best bet of them all. But I was definitely leaning Indy -3 initially, and so now I'm liking it a little bit more, obviously. All right, what's your next pick for us, Jeff Cadillac?
Okay, number 4, we got Houston at Oakland. Okay, on the West Coast. Houston last week, I'll tell you something. Ryan Fitzpatrick surprised me very well. I liked it last week. For the first time in a long time, he didn't have a turnover, either by fumble or interception in the game. J.J. Watt, he's all world, baby. He's the number 1 pick in the NFL for me. And that defense, man, they shut people down. Oakland against the Jets last week. Come on. These guys were falling all over themselves, but I still liked Oakland +5.5. They covered against the Jets, and they had a terrible game. I mean, I think they had like 150 yards of total offense in that game. You got a rookie quarterback over there for Oakland. You got Derek Carr. They're going to need some games to get in sync. I like Houston. As long as Ryan Fitzpatrick plays well. And a lot of people, this is something to remember. Last year when Ryan Fitzpatrick was with Tennessee, he led a fourth quarter drive against Oakland to win the game. So he knows this team. He has been there last year. He will do well against Oakland this Sunday. All
right, well, that's true. You got a rookie quarterback over there, and, that's the way I was leaning myself. I'm not sure if I'm going to bet it, but okay, I'm in agreement with you on that one. What do you have for us next, Jeff Cadillac?
Okay, my 5th game is Detroit at Carolina. Detroit impressed a lot of people on Monday night, but they played the terrible New York Giants. I'm not a big fan of Jim Caldwell. I think he is a loser. He is, I'm not as a person, but as a coach. He had Peyton Manning as his quarterback in Indy, and he couldn't even win with Peyton Manning. Now he's got Megatron. He's got Stafford. He's got Reggie Bush. I like Golden Tate, but I'm telling you right now, things are going to fall flat. Detroit is not a great away team. Carolina last week, they beat Tampa Bay. Everybody was saying this is the coming for Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, basically, that was one of the games I had. I don't know what happened to them. They made a lot of mistakes, but Carolina capitalized on those mistakes. And it was Derek Anderson who was the quarterback for Carolina last week. Cam can't wait to get behind center this week. He will be starting against Detroit this weekend. I like the way Cam is pumped. He's ready to go. I think that team at home this week against Detroit, Detroit does not play well on grass throughout their history of being in the dome. I like Carolina -3 at home against Detroit. And again, for more in-depth analysis on any of these games and the rest of the NFL schedule, you must check out my website, jeffcadillac.com. And I'm on Twitter at jeffcadillac1, where I preview my best bet of the week on Fridays.
Jeff Cadillac from jeffcadillac.com. There we go. 5 picks NFL Week 2 for Cadillac's flock. We'll see how this turns out. Thanks so much. Talk to you again next week.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.